Greetings, fellow Rotarians from Texas. This is Chris Mosley. This marks my around 1 month since I've been in Tokyo, so I wanted to give an update since I have things to actually say now. I arrived last month, actually on July 3rd. Our first day of class was July 4th. And when I arrived at the airport in Narita, Tokyo, there was actually a Japanese TV crew interviewing people. So that was kind of fun, asking why they were coming to Japan. So that was a kind of fun first experience. I had a guitar and they wanted me to play a song, so I sang a song for them. So I guess that got on Japanese TV. Anyway, when I got to the airport, Ichikawa-san is my Rotary host. He's with the Kawasaki Rotary Group. He met me at the airport, and I didn't have a place. I had a plan to stay in a hotel, but he invited me to just stay at his house for the first night because the dorms were opening the next day, so I stayed with Ichikawa-san the first night at his house, and that was very generous and kind of him. I'm very happy that he could do that. And he has a very nice house. He has a beautiful Japanese garden in the back that I just love to see. And he had a piano, and since I played piano, he thought it was a good idea that we could play piano together. So that was a really fun thing. He had to go to work the next morning, but another Rotary host named Noguchi-san actually drove me to school. And that morning, the first morning of the next day, we went to a Rotary. There happened to be a Rotary meeting that morning, and I actually got to go to the meeting and introduce myself to the Kawasaki Rotary Group and tell them what I was doing in my little broken Japanese, but that was another really great experience. When I got to school, it's interesting that an old friend of mine was actually here at the school because he was kind of my predecessor in the fellowship. His name is Mark Flanagan, and I got to meet, we taught together in Nagasaki-ken 13 years ago. So he's an old friend, and I got to see him in New York and Washington, D.C. before. But it was fun that he was also at the school. And he's one of the reasons I decided to sign up for the fellowship, because he told me about it. Since I've been here over the last month, I've been in an intensive Japanese course. That's what most of my time is taken up with this summer. I'm in the level 2 class. So every weekday, we'll have 3 periods, like an hour and a half long of class. So it's a full, almost a full school day of just nothing but Japanese lessons. And usually we have a vocabulary or grammar quiz just about every day. We have homework every day to do. So it's a really intensive class, and my Japanese level is really improving because of it. We have 2 other fellows that are also here for this summer, Luca from Italy and Anna from Russia. I'll remember their last names. It's an Italian and Russian name that's a little tricky, but Luca and Anna, and they're in the level 1 class. Excuse me. There are 7 other fellows. 5 of them just arrived today to take a crash course in Japanese, and 2 of them will come later, and I haven't even gotten a chance to talk to them, mostly just Luca and Anna. Of course, there are many other students. There may be about 70 students total taking the intensive course. A lot of them are exchange students or taking the summer course for other reasons. A lot of them Americans, some Canadians, some Europeans, but it's a good mix of people that I am studying with. Aside from class, we have cultural events. Some of the cultural events I've done that are sponsored by the school, I've done some flower arranging, taiko drum, which is a kind of Japanese drum. I went to a tea ceremony and saw how that happened. Actually, the tea ceremony happened just behind us. You can see how beautiful the campus is. It has this beautiful foresty area surrounding the campus. It's just beautiful. And then we have, this is called this beautiful gate here. And then right behind the gate, you can see this building is actually the tea house. You can see it back there in the background. That's the tea house where we had tea ceremony. It's just a beautiful campus. It's very inspiring to have this beautiful campus around while we are studying. We went to a traditional kabuki. We watched a kabuki play at the theater, at the National Theater. I've made traditional sandals, which are called zori, and some other events. I've also had time on the weekends to do some traveling in Tokyo itself. We've been to places like Shinjuku and Shibuya and Akihabara. We watched fireworks in a thunderstorm, which is very dramatic. The heavens and the earth were having fireworks at the same time at the very large temple called Asakusa. And just this last weekend we went to a traditional onsen, or a bathhouse in Odaiba, which was a lot of fun. We dressed up in summer kimono, and the inside of it was a kind of theme onsen, where the inside of it had a mock-up of a late 19th century Japanese town, or maybe Tokyo in 1880s, and everyone's walking around in the summer kimono. It felt very authentic, and we got to eat there, and they had kind of carnival games, so it was very authentic, a lot of fun. That was just this last weekend. I live in a nearby dorm here on campus, but I'm going to move into an apartment when school starts. And this is actually my third time staying in Japan. I taught English here 13 years ago, and then there are a few other times I've visited and stayed for a little while. So it's not entirely new. Japan is not entirely new to me, but I still learn new things every day about it. And every day has its little paradoxes and frustrations and little hidden delights that I find. Some new food that I've never seen before. Okonomiyaki was something we had recently. Or, I rented an apartment recently. When the summer course ends, I'll go into an apartment, and it was a little frustrating actually going through all the paperwork that was in Japanese to rent an apartment, and there's so many little expenses that you have to take care of, but we got through it, and I'm happy that I'll have my own apartment soon. And of course everyone has been very kind here in the entire time. The people from Rotary are very kind, the people with the summer Japanese course, and just friends. There are of course Japanese that live in the dorms too that take care of us, so everyone has been very kind. I've been very happy with my experience here so far. So that's what my last month has been up to, and I hope to keep you updated, and thank you all for your support. Thanks.